Nicki, I can't keep defending you, girl. It's getting so hard to be a barb out here, please. Please, I can't keep defending you.
And why people don't see that Nicki is the problem. SZA's talking about Mercury retrograde, and now Nicki's telling her to draw her freckles on. Like, what?
Nicki Minaj came out swinging like Thor with a vendetta. Lightning in one hand, tweets in the other. But this time, the first bolt wasn't aimed directly at SZA.
I'm SZA, and honestly, Nicki Minaj doesn't even cross my mind. People care the most about what they don't have. She called me ugly, but I really don't care at all.
It struck Terrence Punch Henderson, president of TDE. Nicki's opening shot, a brutal -30 million insult, mocking the alleged removal of inflated streams from SZA's album. It wasn't just shade, it was sabotage allegations wrapped in sarcasm. #justice for Demery, #deposition Perez.
Girl, what in the Mercury Gatorade is going on here? Because why did SZA and Nicki Minaj just have an exchange on Twitter? It all started when SZA tweeted out, "Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, lol, silly goose." So, to me it sounds like she was shading somebody, and Nicki Minaj sure as hell took that bait.
Cryptic, explosive, and instantly dissected by online sleuths. This wasn't just about sales. Nicki was naming names, hinting at lawsuits, power imbalances, and industry gaslighting. What looked like rap beef was now bleeding into boardroom warfare, and Nicki positioned herself as the lone gladiator swinging at execs in suits.
Nicki accused one of my artists, Punch, of messing her around, but I can't control what people do in their personal lives. That's their freedom. I'm not coming for anyone. Nicki's just too sensitive. Maybe she's held something against me for a while. I'm tight with Cardi B, worked together, but I've never collaborated with Nicki.
Every tweet dripped with venom, but it wasn't random. Nicki was building a narrative, one where she's not just feuding, she's fighting the machine. And the timeline ate it up. Suddenly, the fan discourse shifted from who's the better artist to who controls the charts and how do female artists protect themselves in a rigged system. Marketers scrambled, fans theorized, and industry insiders low-key panicked. Enter SZA, reluctant as ever, floating into the chaos with her now iconic Mercury retrograde, "Don't take the bait, silly goose" tweet, a soft deflection, a peace sign wrapped in a horoscope, but Nicki wasn't having it. She dismantled the metaphor, slashed through the subtlety, and declared the ring hers.
Tension between Nicki Minaj and SZA. I guess Nicki started tweeting a picture of TDE's Punch, who is SZA's manager. She continued and basically she kept saying how she had proof of being bullied and that they lied on her, and then I guess they had she had rejected a business proposition at one point, and she felt that there was retaliation. And then she retweets SZA, who went on Twitter and wrote, "Mercury retrograde, don't take the bait, lol."
Because for Nicki, this wasn't just about chart placements. It was about exposure, power, and control. And she came armed with receipts, rage, and razor-sharp bars. What began as internet drama mutated into a full-blown spectacle. Part exposé, part diss war, part industry unraveling. And in true Minaj fashion, the performance wasn't just messy, it was mythic. SZA's faint-hearted Mercury retrograde, "Don't take the bait, silly goose" tweet was the proverbial white flag, or so she thought. Instead, Nicki treated it like kryptonite, ambushing her with savage comebacks, "Go draw your freckles back on Bookie," and crushing diss lines about sounding like a F-King dead dog. Suddenly, celestial navigation became the backdrop to a SZA's soft Mercury retrograde, "Don't take the bait, silly goose" tweet felt like a gentle peace offering, or at least a whimsical attempt to rise above the fray. But what she meant as cosmic deflection, Nicki saw as a spark, and she brought the wildfire. Minaj came back swinging with lines like, "Go draw your freckles back on Bookie," and "You sound like a king dead dog." It wasn't banter, it was battle, and Nicki wasn't pulling punches. What started as astrology flirtation turned into a scorched earth roast session with celestial metaphors reduced to ashes in a matter of tweets. It was eyebrow-raisingly bold, even for Nicki. The tone, nuclear, the delivery, comedy club meets rap arena. Fans were torn. Some howled at the sheer audacity, quoting punchlines like they were legendary battle bars. Others winced, calling it overkill, and wondering if the Queen of Rap had taken a star chart a little too personally. Meanwhile, SZA stayed quiet, again, leaving Nicki's tweets to ricochet in the digital echo chamber. But that silence only made the blows land harder. Because when Nicki flips humor, venom, and viral sound bites into a single post, she doesn't just win a fight, she curates a moment. And whether you're Team Silly Goose or Team Stand-Up Slaughter, the truth is clear. This wasn't just a clapback. This was dramatic gaslighting, astrology edition. And the timeline, still spinning like Mercury in retrograde? Full-blown scorched earth campaign. It was eyebrow-raisingly bold. While one could parse SZA's retort as playful astrology spelunking, Nicki turned it into ammo, delivering punchlines sharp enough to rival any stand-up special. Online chatter exploded. Some viewers applauded the wit, others gasped at the savage tone. Because when Nicki flips comedy, shade, and accusations in one tweet, she cooks up a whole vibe. And whether you stan Minaj or feel some empathy for SZA, it's impossible to deny. This was dramatic gaslighting, astrology edition. In response, SZA veered from her usual cosmic musings and fired back with cold, hard numbers. No riddles, no crystals, just capital gains. She flaunted her European tour stats like royalty presenting war spoils, sold-out stadiums, roaring crowds, and a level of global love that couldn't be faked or fabricated. Then came the real jaw-dropper. Her SOS tour had pulled in a staggering $100 million, putting her in rarefied air alongside Beyoncé, Rihanna, and Tina Turner. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a ledger drop. In one move, SZA reframed the entire narrative. While Nicki weaponized history, headlines, and hashtags, SZA laid down fiscal receipts that couldn't be ratioed. Her message: I get dragged by strangers online and still walk into arenas filled with people who know every word. My family is thriving. My legacy is building. I'm not here for the mess. I'm here for the marathon. But she didn't stay all zen. With pinpoint clarity, she ended it all with a quote that might just live forever in stan culture history. Get some effing perspective and bark at the wall. No rhymes, no bars, just facts, fury, and finesse. And just like that, the feud shifted again. From name-calling to net worth, from shade to substance. It became less about whose tweets slapped harder and more about whose impact is measurable beyond Wi-Fi. Now, you've got Nicki, the queen of the theatrical takedown, and SZA, the empress of quiet dominance. And in this chapter of rap drama, it's not just who yells loudest, it's who walks tallest when the noise fades. Because in 2025, chart stats and sold-out arenas hit harder than subtweets ever could. Not done stirring the pot, Nicki hopped back in the chat like the rematch nobody asked for. But everyone watched, and this time, she didn't just throw shade, she eclipsed the sun. If every track SZA drop disappeared, the music business wouldn't miss it. She snapped, delivering a line so brutal it instantly joined the Rap Beef Hall of Fame. The barbs mobilized like it was DEFCON 1, while neutral corners of the internet leaned in like they were watching live courtroom drama. Nicki wasn't finished. She flexed receipts, world tours, festival headlines, and 80,000-person crowds that scream every lyric like gospel. Then, in classic Minaj fashion, she unearthed old tweets, alleged shade from SZA directed at Beyoncé, Madonna, and Rihanna. Her implication? SZA's playing innocent while throwing rocks from glass villas. But it didn't stop at celebrity alliances. Nicki took it straight to the soul of SZA's artistry, calling the SOS Deluxe rollout insecure and more or less, a carefully coded accusation that SZA was chasing charts, not purpose. It wasn't just a jab at music strategy, it was a challenge to the integrity behind the music. The way Black women are judged whether they swing or stand still. So yeah, it's messy. Yeah, it's addictive. But under the shade and subtweets, there's something deeper happening. And whether you're Team Nicki, Team SZA, or just here for the memes, one thing's certain. This isn't just a feud, it's a cultural mirror. What started as a spark between artists has erupted into a full-blown industry reckoning. Nicki Minaj isn't just trading bars. She's lighting matches in boardrooms, dragging executives, and flipping every tweet into a loaded message. SZA, meanwhile, plays the reluctant contender, but even her silence now echoes through the chaos. This is more than a feud. It's a collision of power, image, and truth in a digital coliseum. As the smoke rises, one thing's clear. This isn't just entertainment, it's a reflection of how women in music navigate fame, fire, and the fight to be heard. And the world can't look away.